Welcome to Stuff and Whiskey. I'm Josh.
And I'm Erin.
And today we're talking about responsible drinking. What is it? What defines it? And what do we think of it?
Welcome to the channel, bringing a real-world perspective to the real-world whiskey consumer.
Today we're talking about responsible drinking. Like we said right at the top, Very interesting topic for sure. Important topic.
Very important.
For sure.
Yep.
So before we get into that, how are you doing?
I'm good. I took a nap today, so I'm great.
Yeah, we did take a nap today.
Yeah, it's
That's solid. We're recording on a Sunday.
Sunday afternoon
Sunday
nap.
afternoon naps are hard to beat, especially it's a rainy day today.
It's cloudy.
It was nice.
So it was good. And then we're just coming off of a week with my family, which is also really fun. We do this thing every year called Cousins Camp, where all my siblings who have children, we bring our kids together. And well, all my siblings, not just the ones that have the children, but we all bring the kids together and the adults put on like a camp for the kids at my parents' house. So it was super fun. All the kids and the adults always have so much fun.
Yeah.
Playing games, preparing games for the kids. We do tie-dye t-shirts. Like, it's just a ton of fun.
It is a ton of fun. And you've got a big family.
I do have a big family.
People may not know this if they're watching, but Erin is one of 9 children.
I am.
The oldest of 9.
I am.
So it's a lot of people. It's a lot of fun.
It's a lot of fun.
And this topic actually came up today because of Cousins Camp, because we were away with your family for a week. And it's a great time, but we don't drink when we're with your family because
my family doesn't drink.
They don't drink.
Yeah.
And we respect that, and that's totally fine. Like, we have a good time regardless.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I didn't drink growing up. I think my first drink was I was in Mexico at 20 years old.
And my first drink was like a month away from 21.
Really?
So we were late bloomers.
Yeah.
But I definitely did see some crazy stuff happen with drinking in my teenage years.
Yeah.
Had some pretty tragic and pretty sad stuff going on with people around me, friends, family members, lots of stuff. So it is an important topic to touch on. So we wanted to touch on this. I mean, we are a whiskey channel, and at the end in our little screen we say please sip responsibly.
But what does that mean?
And we mean that.
Yeah. But what does that mean?
Before we get into our main topic, before we roll right into responsible drinking, what are we drinking?
What are we drinking,
So
Josh?
shout out to Barry Hawk, one of our patrons. He hooked us up with this sample of Bardstown Discovery Series 5. I'm a huge fan of Discovery Series 3 and 4.
Have I had 3 and 4?
You have.
Okay.
You've had Fusion 4. We have Fusion 4. We went to Bardstown.
I
and did a
that.
tour. We tasted the distillate right out of the barrels. 2, 3, and 4 year. It was a 2-year wheated whiskey, a 3-year regular bourbon whiskey, and then a 4-year rye. All excellent. Discovery Series 5 kind of gets some mixed reviews, so I'm really interested to see what we think of this. This is going to be our first impressions of it, so we're going to do a little quick sip review on it. Wish I had a bottle here, but it's starting to pop up in our market now. We're filming this near the end of the summer, but you're probably seeing this several weeks later. Yeah, early fall. So
I did smell this before we started.
The nose is fantastic.
The nose wasn't great for me the first smell before we turned on the camera, but now it's opened up a bit.
I'm getting like fruity sweetness. I'm getting a strawberry note on here. It kind of smells like strawberry shortcake to me.
Wow. I love strawberry shortcake. Doesn't smell like that to me though.
All right. I'm going to get into the palate.
Oh, I like it.
Oh, I do like that.
It's smooth, but then it has just a little kick.
So it definitely doesn't have the proof wallop that you get from 3 and 4. 3 is 110 proof. I think it drinks a little hotter than that because it's got a higher rye content in a lot of the whiskey in there. 4 is 115 proof. I think it probably drinks about that or maybe a little under.
What's 5?
5 is 104.7 proof.
Okay.
And the point of consternation for people with this whiskey is that
word, consternation.
It has, I know, it's like an old grumpy man word, which I like using those sometimes. So, but the point of consternation with this is that it has George Dickel, which is a Tennessee whiskey, blended in as part of it.
Okay.
It is 17 years old.
Oh my.
With the Dickel that's in here. But it also has whiskey as young as 6 years from Kentucky in there.
Oh, okay.
So it's a blend.
Gotcha.
I didn't really know what to expect. People say that Dickel has like this Flintstone vitamin minerality to it.
I love Flintstone vitamins.
So maybe take our opinion here with a grain of salt. I'm not getting much minerality. It definitely didn't get that strawberry note that I got on the nose. I'm not getting that on the palate, at least yet. Let me go sip 2.
If I think Flintstones vitamins, then I taste it. But I loved Flintstone vitamins, so I ain't mad at it.
Yeah, I might be able to get it.
Like
just a smidge on the back end. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just a smidge.
Like
but
a very tiny bit.
yeah, but it's fruity sweet. It's rich, even though it's low proof. It definitely drinks. I mean, I think it drinks like 100 proof, really. Kind of like a bottled in bond.
Yeah.
But it does have a nice silky mouthfeel, but it's not that enveloping kick in the mouth that we've come to know from the Discovery series of old. So $130.
Oh.
Availability is, I mean, it's a limited release item.
Okay.
It's usually not hard to track a bottle down in a lot of larger markets.
Okay. Taking into account price and availability, I'm just going to give it just okay. If it was not a limited release and more like affordable or cheaper, I would give it a thumbs up. The taste is good. I like the flavor. I like the experience, but it's just going to get a just okay overall for me.
I think for me, it is a thumbs up. It's a lot of that is coming from the fact that I just love Bardstown so much, and that I want to buy the Discovery series. I want to continue to buy them, and I do really like this. This is when I'm in the mood and don't want to get a high proof wallop right in the mouth, and I want something that's a little bit more tame, but nuanced still. This is pretty good. The price tag is getting harder and harder for me to swallow for Discovery series, just because, I mean, through our blind tastings, we're finding that there's so many whiskeys around the $50 to $60 price point that are just good. Every bit as good as everything that's much higher than that. And so it's really hard for me to want to spend more than that unless it's on something like Discovery series. As far as I'm concerned, thumbs up for me. I'd like to get one.
That's fair.
All right, let's get into our main topic. So, talking about responsible drinking.
Yes,
we looked up the stats before this started. The National, what is it? The National, we wrote it down.
Check our notes.
National Institute of Alcohol Abuse and Alcoholism say men should have no more than 14 drinks a week. Women should have no more than 7 drinks a week.
Yeah.
So
as far as what is considered responsible drinking by that institute.
Right. Or men no more than 4 drinks a day, women no more than 3 drinks a day.
Yeah.
So it doesn't take a math wizard. I mean, I can even figure out that if you're drinking 3 drinks a day, as a woman, you're going to eclipse 7 drinks a week by quite a lot, by 3 times as much. As a man, if I drink 4 drinks a day for a whole week, I'm going to well eclipse 14 drinks in a week's time.
Yeah.
So it doesn't take much to go over these. But with that said, what does responsible drinking mean to you in a real world practical sense?
Yeah. I think for me, it means kind of knowing your limits and boundaries and not letting anyone outside of you influence that, as far as even social situations, like giving into peer pressure, like knowing what you deem okay for you and not going past that no matter any other influences. I think for me, I'm a weird case study for this particular topic. I don't particularly like to even feel buzzed too much. I really enjoy drinks, and there was a time in my life where I did get slammered, when I was younger. But and I think as we get older, it's not as quote unquote fun. I know. Yeah, I mean,
if I get a hangover, I'm wrecked for like the whole next day until 3 or 4 p.m. if I'm lucky.
That's not an enjoyable experience that I want to have, and so I don't want to do anything to make me have that experience. Yeah.
I like to feel good.
Yeah.
And while drinking can make you feel really good in the moment, it was wild. Like as soon as I hit 30 years old, hangovers got real bad.
Yeah.
And it's never gotten better.
Yeah.
And I just don't want to feel like that. So I have learned where my limits are. And if you're in a social situation, it can be really hard to put the reins on that. But I think it is important. And I will say, to me, responsible drinking, one of the primary things it means is never drinking and driving. An Uber is way cheaper than a DUI.
Ubers and Lyfts these days, like there is no reason why you should be drinking and driving. Even staying over, if you have had too much, stay where you're at.
Yeah.
Sleep there if you have to. Like that, absolutely.
There's not many absolutes we're going to say here because so much of this is individually dependent, but that's kind of the biggie.
Yeah.
Like, you don't want to endanger yourself, but you definitely don't want to endanger others.
Yeah.
I've had friends that have died from drinking and driving.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. I've had family members who have gone through drinking and driving incidents and gotten DUIs and suffered the repercussions of those.
Yeah.
And it's a bad situation.
Yeah.
Let's not also forget that some people do have problems with alcohol.
Absolutely.
And there's nothing wrong with that. Like,
No.
we're a whiskey channel. We enjoy having drinks together. For us, it's a social thing. And honestly, like, if I'm not having drinks with someone that I care about, someone that I have fun with, I probably am not going to be drinking.
Yeah.
And I've gone through dark periods, you know, long seasons in my life where things have been really bad, and I didn't drink for years at a time because I was grappling with other things that I needed to get straight before I actually could have fun drinking with friends
responsibly.
Yeah,
right.
with
And not
loved
overdo
ones.
it and not look to alcohol as a band-aid for the other things you're going through.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, for sure. And for me, a lot of that was a lot of the factors in my life. It was just a really tough season.
Yeah.
But I've seen alcoholism firsthand, up close, with loved ones, relatives, and it's a bad situation to be in. And some of that's
And it's
alcoholism.
a real situation.
It is.
It's not something that should be poo-pooed. You know, it's a real thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And some of that's alcoholism, and some of it is alcohol abuse because of depression or other mental illness type issues.
Yeah.
You can come back around to drinking. If it's a mental illness or depression type of issue, you can come back around to drinking later on once you kind of get your life right. But if you struggle with alcoholism, that's fine too. You don't have to drink to have a good time.
Right.
And I think we all know that intrinsically, but I think it is worth saying to acknowledge that the fact that some people do really struggle with this stuff.
Yeah. And if it's something, or like I said, knowing your limits and your boundaries, if your limit is, I cannot have alcohol, then that's your limit. And you can have fun not drinking, even when there are people that are drinking around you. Like, I've been in situations like that where I have not drunk because I was the designated driver or whatever, and I can still have a great time.
Yeah.
So I think,
I mean, some of the most fun people I know don't drink.
yeah.
I've got buddies who don't drink, and they are an absolute blast, a riot to hang out with.
Yeah.
And they'll just grab, like, you know, club soda and a lime.
Yeah.
Or ginger ale and a lime or something like that. It
Yeah.
feels cocktailish. You know, they've got something in their hand that they can sip on while we're hanging out in a social situation.
Yeah.
But they just, and it's not, the people that I know like that, they don't even grapple with alcoholism. Some of them.
They just choose not
They
to.
just choose not to.
And good on them, yeah.
And good on them. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
This is all a personal choice unless you have an issue. And if you do have an issue, like we said, totally fine. There are resources available.
Absolutely.
Responsibledrinking.org, and we'll put the link in the description below. You can check there for some of the resources.
Yep.
I personally want to speak to, I have been, you know, without getting too personal here, I have personally been affected by other people's drinking on a pretty deep level.
Yeah.
And so I personally went to Al-Anon, which is different than AA, but AA I think is like one of the most amazing services, programs, period, in the world.
Yeah.
Because I can't think of a scenario or situation where people get together and they are more real with each other than in the structure of AA.
Yeah.
Even in Al-Anon, like when I was going to Al-Anon, which if you're not familiar with Al-Anon, it's an organization that's a sister to AA, Alcoholics Anonymous. Al-Anon is if you're affected by other people's drinking. And so we're in Al-Anon and we're just breaking down and having a really tough time kind of coming to grips with all the things that, you know, we're trying to sort through. Over on the AA side, we can hear them laughing and having a good time. And sure, it gets heavy sometimes, but it's all right because you're being real and you're working through things.
Yeah.
And you can't ever do anything better than facing your stuff head on and dealing with it. At least I think. That's just how I roll.
And I find that to be true in any situation, not even alcoholism, even things that are smaller. Like, you feel angry that day. Like, for me, I'm struggling with processing that. And Josh has really helped me with that.
Yeah. I just like that. I like dealing with stuff head on and putting it behind me.
I agree. I
growing,
think it's awesome.
Being healthy mentally, physically, emotionally, in all the ways. And, you know, alcohol can be part of that. It can be social lubricant. It can be a fun thing to enjoy. Personally speaking, for me, it's kind of like at the end of the day, not to wind down. I don't have to have it to wind down. But when we sit down at the end of the day, we've already had dinner. We're going to sit down. We're going to watch a show. I'll have a little pour of something and I'll just focus on that. And I'll focus on being present, and having a glass in my hand honestly keeps me from what my real addiction is, which is having my phone in my hand.
Yes,
that's the problem.
It is.
Because if I've got both hands free, I might be holding your hand with one, but I might be
I know you will
my
be, because I've talked to you about this.
So if I have a glass in my hand, then I've got something I can nose, I can taste, and I can work through a glass when we watch a show or a movie or something like that. So,
for sure.
anyways, that we hope that this has been an interesting episode for you. If you're somebody that grapples with this stuff and really struggles, we hope it's been a helpful episode for you. No shame, no judgment here.
Nope.
Just above all else, you got to take care of yourself. And for what anybody else thinks, who cares? Really, I mean, not to be totally blunt, but that's the truth. Like, you got to take care of you so that you can be there for the other people in your life.
Absolutely.
And responsible drinking is a big part of that.
It plays into that for sure. So now that we've talked about the topic, let's get into some other stuff. What you got?
All right. So I'm super excited about this week.
I know you are. That's why I'm asking you.
So we're filming this at the beginning of August, but it's going to air, I think, near the beginning to middle of September. So we're straight up in fall season right now.
Oh, it feels like fall today.
And today, and this kind of spurred this too, because today was cooler, rainy, dreary. Fall to me means boot season.
Yeah, it does.
It's boot season. So I don't know if you're like me. I don't know how you feel about this, but like the whole like cut out the middleman, like cut out the retailer, and we're going to go direct to consumer. There's so much of that stuff going on in the market nowadays. Yeah. It's a little overwhelming, and you don't really know what's good and quality versus what is just somebody trying to make a quick buck.
Yeah.
When it comes to boots, there are a lot of companies out there, footwear, period. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm of the personal opinion that spend minimal on your clothes, because like you don't know if they're going to get dirty, if they're going to get ripped, if they're going to get torn. But your feet, you got to take care of your feet.
Josh is a shoe guy.
I'm a shoe guy.
And you never get to know that because you never see his feet.
I've got more shoes than you.
Yes, he does.
I was going to say I might have more shoes than whiskey bottles, but
no,
that's not true. That's not true.
No.
But I do have a lot of shoes. Nonetheless, when it comes to boots, I've got some nice boots. I've got some Allen Edmonds boots. I've got some Wolverine boots, 1,000 Mile boots. I've got some Red Wings. I've got like all the major players in the nice boot space, short of Alden coming soon. But
oh, really?
Well, I mean, I got to save up my pennies, and they're expensive. So
okay.
But nonetheless, when it comes to this cut out the middleman Thursday boots, okay, not sponsored.
Nope.
But if you want to, Thursday, hit us up.
I mean, we'll take it.
Like, I will rep a company that I absolutely believe in.
Yeah.
I bought one pair because I liked them, liked the look of them, but I didn't know what to expect quality-wise.
Right.
After getting that one pair, I liked them so much and found myself wearing them instead of my Wolverines and instead of my Red Wings and instead of my Allen Edmonds, that I then subsequently bought 2 more pairs, and I absolutely love these things. So, I have them here. The first pair I bought were the suede chukkas, the Scouts, I think they call it. I probably should have looked this up before we started filming. But nonetheless, these are the suede chukkas. I mean, they have this...
It looks like you've never worn them.
I know, but I've worn them a ton.
The sole is like pristine.
I know, I've worn them a ton. And if you're a boot nerd or whatever, like I am, they're 360 degree Goodyear welted, which means when it comes time to resole these, even though the sole is mega durable, you can replace this thing and you've got a boot that just keeps on lasting. So that right there is amazing. You know, when I turned 30 years old, I bought my Wolverine 1,000 Miles. That was 8 years ago. And I kind of had gotten over the consumable culture. And I was like, I'm going to buy these 1,000 Miles. I'm buying them when I'm 30. I want to still be wearing these things when I'm a senior citizen. That was my idea.
Yeah.
8 years later, I've got a few more nice boots in the arsenal. But these Thursday boots, I go to these more often than my other stuff.
I can attest to that.
I mean, the price point's great for what you're getting. They're very comfortable, which is obviously a kind of a big deal. But these things are gorgeous. After I got the suede chukkas, I got the leather Cavalier, the Chelsea boots.
I like those.
These things with a pair of jeans and a t-shirt, like
It's
you
like-
look put together.
You do.
You look put together.
You do, and you really didn't do much. You just put jeans and a t-shirt on and some nice boots.
You didn't. And
Yeah.
like these have the combination sole that's like leather, but it still has the grip.
Mm-hmm.
So these show more wear, but I mean, they're so nice. The silhouette, which is nerdy shoe talk, but the silhouette is not chunky, but it's not super modern either. It's kind of like a nice Goldilocks middle of the road.
Yep.
So I got these Cavaliers. They're fantastic, super comfortable. I absolutely love wearing these things.
Yeah.
And then
But wait, there's more.
but wait, there's more. I got a pair of the Dukes. So these are also a Chelsea boot, also 360 degree welted.
They're a little more chunky on the like profile.
They're a little more chunky. The toe box is a little bit more rounded off. They've got some more room in them for wear with thicker socks in the wintertime. But these are fantastic as well. Super comfortable. I mean, I just can't say enough. And the suede on those, it's weatherproof, which you can't ever get with suede.
Yeah.
So I'm just such a big Thursday boot fan. I mean,
We couldn't tell. Jeez.
I don't know if my excitement is showing through on the camera,
You
but
hit it so well.
I really love shoes. I love the smell of new shoes. I love the feeling of good socks and shoes on your feet. Like this has been a thing since childhood. Like I was the kid that loved getting new socks for Christmas because they felt so good on my feet.
Yeah. Fresh new socks are kind of awesome.
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't in the military, but I've had friends that are in the military. I kind of missed the boat on that. I kind of wish I would have gone in. But I think anybody that's in the military can speak to the fact that you got to take care of your feet. And if you're somebody that works on your feet at all, you got to take care of your feet.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes a massive difference. So Thursday boots, the link is in the description below. I'll stop nerding out now.
Will you though?
No, not really. No, I'm not going to stop. But we'll cap it there at this episode.
Okay.
And if you like this episode, if you like what we're doing on the channel here, if you want to be a part of it, check the link below for our Patreon. We've got all kinds of stuff there. We do these quick sip reviews. We post in the Patreon a couple times a week with those. You get to see upcoming stuff. That's our community element of our channel. All kinds of stuff. Check it out down there.
Thank you so much for watching today's video. If you haven't noticed, we're a channel about connection, conversation, and community, and the whiskey is what brings us together. And this video is just the beginning of the conversation. So if you like today's video, leave a comment below. You could also subscribe to our channel if you haven't, and hit that like button. Like it.
We like our thumbs around here. Thumbs up.
And then also be sure to check the description box below for our upcoming live stream. We've started doing them once a month, so be sure to check it out below so you don't miss our next one.
Till next week, guys.
Cheers.